A vibrant cityscape rises amidst a verdant jungle, a testament to the harmonious blend of human ingenuity and nature's artistry. This is Taiwan, where rich culture is delicately intertwined with breathtaking natural landscapes. Here in the heart of Taipei, our adventure begins. Yeah, look at it.
That's long.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude.
Well, we didn't have to go far before we started finding some amazing things, like this giant worm that is bigger than some snakes I've seen. This city park showed us all sorts of incredible creatures, from toads to frogs to even owls. Let's take a closer look at some of the species we found here. Oh, all right. Nice. This is a huge toad. This is a Taiwanese common toad. They're gigantic. They're pretty common, and you know, they just blend in so well with the pavement here. I walked right past it, and Phil was the one who spotted it, but it's cool. Big, really big toad. All right, we got another one of those Taiwanese common toads, and if you look closely, you can see a little tiny thing sticking out of his mouth. And I think that is from his last meal, whatever it was, whatever he ate. Maybe had a wing or something that's still sticking out there. So kind of cool to see that this guy is probably a very good hunter. I kind of like holding them like this, really light. They tend not to pee as much when I do, because you're not putting a lot of pressure on him. But he might croak. He was looking like he was for a moment, but yep, not making a sound today, but you can see he's trying to a little bit. Toads are poisonous. They have these parotid glands right there, those long sort of, this is kind of like an elongated bean shape there, and that's where they produce a toxin. But, you know, they're fine to handle. Just, you know, be careful, wash your hands as you would with handling anything. So, excellent. We'll let him get back to the night. Bye, Toady. Phil just spotted this other toad, and I think we have a collared scops owl calling in the background too. But this is a Asian common toad, so a slightly different species. They're a bit smaller than the Taiwan common toad, and you know, I'm not sure what all the field marks are. The field guides are a bit limited for English speakers, but you can see that it doesn't have as much color variation. It's all brown, and those like cranial crests give it a very unique lines on the face. So we'll let him go back hunting. Well, we just got a collared scops owl there. That is what's calling. I think there's a second one calling in the distance a bit, if you can hear it, the woo! Woo! But really cool to see this bird. He's just perched right in the open for us. Oh, a little bit of poop. Yeah, we're hearing a lot of owls, which is really nice to see how abundant they are out in Taiwan. I really had no idea how, you know, back in the US, owls are pretty rare, but out here we're just hearing them left and right. So very cool. This is a flying squirrel, one of the giant flying squirrels here in Taiwan. Now, I don't know what species this is. I'm not sure how many there are, but we can look it up a little later. I think that they're nocturnal and that they'll be hunting, but for whatever reason, he's just kind of chilling out here on the branch. So neat to see this guy. In the background, you're hearing a mountain scops owl, so a little different species than the first one we had. All right, well, this is a treat. Listen to all those frogs calling. Here's one over there. There's one back there, but we've got one right up close there. Check that out. And then even better, the reason that they're calling is to attract a mate, and it looks like this one was successful. Now these frogs here are LaTouche's frogs, but the other frogs that you see all over the pond and with these tadpoles here, these are the olive frogs, and they have just a wonderful chorus that they're sharing with us now. So at first when I saw this, I thought that this might be some frog eggs, but I was completely wrong. These actually belong to a frog hopper, which is a type of insect. And you can see it's kind of all over the place. There's a couple spots there, a couple spots further down, and really easy to see with the flashlights here. But inside of that little sort of spit bubble thing is a little insect that's using that for protection and to get sort of extra moisture.
Oh, he's got a little bug in his mouth.
Oh, that's cool. Alright, do some narration.
I don't know anything about these guys. We're gonna have to look up what it is, but
Maybe I'll do a voiceover, sure.
no, I might just use this footage. Look at him chewing away.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I think this is different from the lizard I saw the other day. Oh, there he goes. Swallowed, licked his lips, and I think he's probably going to go back to moving, back on the hunt. There he goes.
Yeah, you know those bugs, buddy. We don't want them.
This one is much more forest looking. Blends in really, really well. Oh, can't focus on it though. There we go. It's a cool looking lizard. I tried to catch this little bugger, and then he started climbing up on me. Look at that. It's neat to see that. They obviously like to climb up tall structures to get away from predators, and couldn't decide if I was a predator or a person. Well, you look at this. On a rainy night, the frogs are really starting to come out. This is Swinhoe's frog. All that green color makes this guy pretty easy to identify. Oh, there he goes, hopping away. Should be good. We might have a lot more in store with all this extra rain. This is turning out to be one of the most common frogs we're seeing. This is the LaTouche frog. You can see they like the rain too, and we've got a really big one right here. They have this sort of leopard striping on the side and that white lip. That's one of the things that I've noticed. I don't have a field guide, so I'm kind of assuming that's the field mark, but it seems to be pretty reasonable. So cool to see. 2 more frogs, especially that big old boy. All right, so this is the emerald green tree frog. Pretty easy to look up online and figure out. That sort of eye stripe through the eye was one of the main things that I noticed in some of the pictures. So cool to see this guy. He's super green. That's so cool. He just sits there nice and easy in the palm of my hand. I was expecting him to jump like all the other frogs. But I also learned this is Taiwan's largest endemic tree frog. So cool little nifty fact. But like I said, we're gonna help this guy off the road in the way that he was headed, and let him be on his way soon. I brought you to the side of the road. This frog is so cool. He's just hanging out here. But it is time for you to go. Hop off. All right, there we go. Bye, froggy. You know, these frogs really do come in all shapes and sizes. This tiny little frog looks like another LaTouche's, but much different from some of the larger ones that we've been seeing. Whoa, look at that. We've got a blind snake and a millipede, some other things, but of course, having our first snake on our own is always nice. These aren't native out here, but still cool to see. Neat. Oh, check it out. There's a turtle here. I think this is a yellow pond turtle. That's kind of cool. And next to him, right there, that yellow fella is a frog. Not sure what kind, but we'll figure it out. Well, we were quickly able to figure out what this little frog was. These yellow frogs are the Ota's stream tree frog, and they are endemic to the island of Taiwan. All right, this little pond, super productive. You can see there's another one of these frogs, and It's hard to make out, but there's another one right there. And then we also got some tadpoles. So that's cool. Yeah, these ones are making that clucking sound, I think. Alright, so I'm pretty sure those little frogs that we were seeing are Ota's stream frogs. They got some nice yellow color to them too. But right in here we have another species. This is a Mortex, I think that's how it's said, a Mortex green tree frog. And this one is just a baby. You can see it's still got a little bit of a tail, recently metamorphosized, but we might be able to find an adult since a baby's out like this. So really cool to see this one new species.
I'm always surprised at how well some of these frogs are camouflaged, even with all the practice that I have looking for them. In fact, I was standing here looking for one of these tree frogs that keeps calling. I mean, it was basically constant the entire time we were on this pond, and for some reason I couldn't spot it, but I looked in this video, and right there is a little tree frog. Now, it's a little difficult for me to gauge how big it is from here. It's certainly bigger than that recently metamorphosized one we had, but it doesn't quite look like a full adult. That, spoiler, we'll show you a big one later, but it's always surprised me how it's just so easy to miss a little frog like that, even though I spent a ton of time looking very closely for all these little critters.
All right, this is a little unusual. Inside of this light fixture, there is a gecko who's hiding away. Now, he's missing his tail, but you can see he's still alive. He's moving around in there. Not a very good hiding place, but obviously he is protected, so kind of crazy. Gecko! This is probably one of the native geckos, maybe the Hokou Gecko, or the Hokou. I think it's Hokou Gecko. So cool to see this little guy. Nice spot, Phil. Another Taiwan common toad. These toads seem to be just about everywhere we look. And this one is big. Let's see if I can show you. Too many shadows here, but it's like almost as big as my hand. I'm just sitting here in the path. Somebody's gonna step on you. Hop along. Here we have another Mortex green tree frog right here on this branch. You can hear them, the adults are calling nearby, but haven't been able to find any adults, just these little babies so far. So I believe this big old frog is a brown tree frog. You can see his toe pads there, making him certainly a tree frog looking like thing. And he's all brown. Now this is the largest tree frog in Taiwan, I believe, but it is not native. And they actually usually outcompete with the native tree frogs, so it's not that great to see that. And like I said, with these tree frogs, is if you look right over here, we do have the native tree frog in the area, the Mortex, and these guys are nice and green. Another baby. We've seen like 3 of them out here tonight, and that's the call that you hear. Oh, there's a big old crab there. It looks like of some sort, but I can't seem to find any of the adults. There just seems to be hidden away. All right, I've been coming back to this pond every day while we've been staying at a hotel nearby, and I keep wanting to find one of the adults of the Mortex green tree frog, and today is the day. We finally found one right there. Booyah! It took us 2 nights and 3 days to come back, looking here, trying to find these guys, and finally we have one sitting on this little leaf. It's very exciting. We kept finding the little kids, the little babies, some that weren't even fully metamorphosized, also on the green leaves. But these guys were calling somewhere deep in the ground, like at a low level, and I just could never find them. But, oh, and look at that. We even have another tree frog hanging out. That's a brown tree frog. That's the non-native species. They're out competing the native species, so we don't really like to see that, but seeing two species is always kind of nice. There may be more out here to find, but definitely excited to finally have stumbled upon this green tree frog. I just want you to see how brightly colored their legs are. Look at that nice orange. Very, wow. Such a pretty frog when you have it in hand like this. Alright, watch it fly back onto its tree. Woo! Look at that go! Alright, buddy. Thanks for the show. Alright, look at this. Tatiana just caught the Shanghai elegant skink. She was braver than me. And look, the tail is intact. Oh, don't run away. And look at this lovely blue color. Now, one of the important things is when you're handling lizards, like their tails can drop off, so be very careful. When you catch them, you want to make sure that you get the body so that you don't do any harm to them. It doesn't hurt the skink when the tail drops off, but they use that as a defense mechanism, and we want to make sure this guy has a great chance of survival after our little visit here. So, really neat to see this Shanghai elegant skink. Woohoo! Right, check out this baby turtle we just caught. Unfortunately, this is not native. This is a red-eared slider, and he very well might have been a pet that somebody brought here. So, but this is, this is kind of a city pond here, so it's not the best environment. I think might even be koi fish in here. But yeah, non-native little turtle I just caught. And in the background you can hear the Guenther's frogs. There's one, I think maybe he jumped away, but there was one right over in that area. So very neat. We'll put this guy back in the water. Bye, fella. Oop. Just fell to the bottom. That's one way to do it. Now, I just saw a snake, and that's why I came over to this part of the pond, but it swam off before I could get to filming it. And so it actually might even be in the background of the last shot, but I don't see where it went. We're going to take another poke. Maybe the snake's around somewhere, but we missed it. There's another Guenther's frog there. Seems to be a good spot for them. Cool. All right, there's our snake right there. And I don't know what he's hunting, but he might be after somebody like this guy. Oh, he got stuck back in there. Wasn't even sure what that was. There's a snail there too. Let's double check. There's no more snakes or something venomous for me to step on here. But, oh yeah, it's just all up against this. That's awesome.
This is the Taiwan kukri snake, a reptile egg specialist. Now, snakes that specialize in bird eggs will usually eat those eggs whole, but this guy is going to tackle reptile eggs in a much different fashion. He's going to make repeated strikes with his sharp teeth to break open those leathery eggs to get at the yolk inside.
And there it goes, tucking itself in.
Thanks for joining on this adventure to Taiwan. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'm Greg Schechter, this is Schechter Natural History, and I'll see you in the field.